Let's do a little psychology test, shall we? What do you guys see right here? Oh, it's a fleshlight. Oh, it's a sex toy. You degenerate. You're sick. Obviously, it's a popcorn bucket for Dune 2, not a sex toy. I mean, I'll still put my dick in it, but still. No, wait. It seems like Dune's taking over the world. And a lot of people are calling the new movie one of the best of the year, which, given the other releases, is really saying something. You guys probably know Dune is the sci-fi book series written in 1965. If you're a fucking nerd, oh, let me pull up my bookmark. I don't want to lose my page. You loser. No, I'm playing. I actually love reading. I've been working through this great novel by Eric Carle. It's kind of a tough read. It took me a while to get through, but there's a surprise twist ending. Oh man, you'd never guess it. But if you're not a galaxy brain scholar like me, you probably know Dune from the recent movies starring Willy Wonka. But did you know they actually released a handful of officially licensed Dune games dating all the way back to 1992? Our first stop on our journey is Dune from 1992, released by Cryo Interactive in 1992. A lot of people see this game to be Cryo's magnum opus. It's a big word, I know I read. So the game largely focuses on controlling the spice instead of getting into kind of the political side of the story. The game's kind of a cool mix between point-and-click adventure and strategy. It throws you out into the world of Arrakis to do what any good imperialist would do: enslave the locals. So you recruit the Fremen, who you can assign to farm, recruit into the military, and work on terraforming Dune into a more hospitable place. It's actually really crazy to see what they were able to do with games 32 years ago. Like, you can fly all over the world, and if you fly in one direction long enough, you'll actually wrap around the entire world. So I guess you could say it's kind of an open world game, but it was very quickly overshadowed by our next game on the list, Dune 2. Dune 2 was released mere months after the first game. Westwood Studios, who developed it, they were sniffing all that money, sniffing all that money over there.
I can almost taste it.
So Westwood Studios got in the kitchen, started cooking something up.
Hey, I'm gonna talk to Microsoft.
Get the fuck off my Expo chef now!
And what they came out with was what a lot of people would call the very first real-time strategy game. Or at least the first real-time strategy game as we know them today. The game decides to go in its own direction and includes 3 different houses on Arrakis, and a challenge from the Emperor, promising the house that harvests the most spice control of the planet.
The house that produces the most spice will control Dune.
Now, there's a lot of quality of life features that are missing here. I mean, it's pretty much as bare bones as you're gonna get. But it's still pretty cool to see a licensed game of all things responsible for an entire genre. Now, along comes Dune 2000, and they see all the gaps that the previous game left, and they decide they're just gonna fill those gaps. They're gonna jam that. But most of the quality of life features that were missing from the previous game are fixed here in Dune 2000. It introduced live action cutscenes and toted improved graphics. But despite it fixing all the quality of life issues, it didn't really improve on the main gameplay of the previous title that much, which at this point was becoming pretty outdated. Other RTS games had been released between Dune 2 and Dune 2000 that expanded and improved on the genre, leading this game to be kind of left behind. Emperor Battle for Dune was a direct sequel to Dune 2000, and they were made by everybody's favorite company. I love you, EA. Please keep making games so I can keep giving you money. Please, oh please make another Madden. I hope it's just like last year's. Battle for Dune continued the original story created in Dune 2, with several of the actors and characters returning for the live-action cutscenes. The main gameplay is largely the same. It's still a real-time strategy game with 3 factions, each of which with their own unique troops and equipment. However, this time the player can align with sub-factions, like the Fremen, to allow them to build special units. Meaning the player had some important decisions to make. Like, am I going to make them slaves? Or am I going to make them slaves but be nice? It received generally favorable reviews, with the main critique being a lack of major innovation. It seems like they really took "if it ain't broke, don't fix it" to heart here. Fans who can't get enough of Westwood's particular brand of RTS, or anyone who missed a Westwood title from the past 3 years, will enjoy Battle for Dune. Everyone else needs to decide if they want more of what they've seen before. Alright, now we're getting into the good stuff here. The meat and potatoes. The bread and butter, the shit and the fart. You guys probably know I'm somewhat of a bad games connoisseur. The Gordon Ramsay of bad games. The other food critic of bad games. And let me tell you, this game was the whole reason I wanted to make this video. They made the decision in 2001 to release this game, and not a lot of people know about it. My God, I'm losing sleep over it. So this game was based on the sci-fi miniseries rather than the books or the 1984 movie. So we have a video game adaptation of a miniseries adapted from a movie, adapted from a book. Now, admittedly, the miniseries does follow the book a little bit more closely than the movies, or really anything else we've gotten to this point. But don't let that fool you into thinking this game is anything but a steaming pile of shit. The game puts you in the shoes of Paul after a certain event happens, and you work with the Fremen to avenge your fallen family. Now, this is the only game in the list that I actually have first-hand experience with. I tried playing it. I'd rather get hit in the head with a brick. I'd rather get run over by a bus. I'd rather eat Brussels sprouts than play this game. I mean, I hate myself, but not that much. Now, let's talk about the movement here. My God, it's fucking terrible. Everyone feels like they're walking around with a stick up their ass. It really just does not feel good. I don't know how this game got greenlit. I would imagine it went something like, it's got Dune in the title. Of course 3 animations are enough. What do you want me to sit here all day and work? They're gonna buy it anyways. So I would classify the game as kind of like a stealth adventure game. Picture this, right? You have a Metal Gear Solid game, and then you just strip away everything that is enjoyable. But of all the fuck-ups that make up this game, the cutscenes are the most egregious. First off, they look god-awful, right? But it's an early PS2 game. I mean, that can be excused. But they are so glitchy. Like, half the time they just skip dialogue, or their animations don't play. Just characters talking out of a closed mouth with a blank stare. It's horrifying, and the dialogue itself is horrible. I could honestly sit here and shit on this game all day. You guys just have to go play it. It's a game you need to experience for yourself. That brings us all the way to Dune Spice Wars. Released in 2022, it was a return to form for the Dune game franchise. But unlike its 2001 predecessor, it was a 4X game. For those of you that don't know, 4X stands for Explore, Expand, Exploit, and Exterminate. And I did not look that up on Wikipedia 30 seconds before I started recording, along with running out of time to research this game, but from the reviews, it looks pretty good. But yeah, Dune Spice Wars, returning back to real-time strategy, and the reviews actually do look pretty positive for it. It looks like people really enjoyed it. But if you guys are bad game connoisseurs as well, you should make your way over here and check out Regular Show on the DS. It sucks really bad.